Hello, this is Longest Day. We're looking at GT versus North Carolina State 2014, and this is the Byerly series. We're going to look at Byerly and his quarterback, Justin, and Byerly both bring awesome talents to that position. We're so lucky to have both of those guys. And, I know some of the vulture comments for Byerly are meant in fun and jest, but truly, there's no vulture. There is no I-star from either of these guys. They're just in there to win, and I'm just glad that they have a good relationship, and it just makes the whole team click. Let's go ahead and dive in and look at this. You can see that this is the defense they've been using pretty much all game. We'll go ahead and start this, and this is going to be just a dive. It's just a dive, handoff, and nothing really to see. There might be some missed assignments right here. I'm not quite sure. He's going to come off of him, but this guy ends up coming up and taking the B back for minimal gain there. So just a straight dive. Go ahead and look at the next one right here, and this is going to be. I think it's supposed to be a midline. I'm not sure who's supposed to be unblocked. A lot of times they can go in directions and engage one of our guys. So instead of being blocked, he is instead of being unblocked, he's blocked just by where he's going. So he ends up not giving it to him, and he tries to push up right there. Does a great job of just buying his time, letting the hole happen, and ends up making about 3 or 4 yards. So I think that was not a QB follow. There was a true mesh there. It looked like it was a midline, but a lot of people squeezed in a very small space. All right, this is just going to be a pass, and you can't see it. We'll go ahead and move this. You can see we got some cushion here. He's also playing to the inside, and it's just ends up being a pass. You can see pass blocking. They get through pretty quick, so this better be a quick pass. He doesn't have a lot of time. I'm just looking right here. Block, miss block. We got some work to do right there, and but we end up making the reception right here. The ball ends up coming out, so he has it. He turns. He's taking a step or two. The ball comes out, and they rule it as a fumble. Normally, when it comes out that quick, it's not a fumble. They call it incompletion. But that really keeps this play alive, and that keeps the team back on the field. Pretty big play for this series. All right, we'll go ahead and look right here. Very interesting. We put our hand down just as we're putting our hand down. See right there? Put our hand down, and motion's already started. So I'm not sure why that wasn't called. But go ahead and start this play off. It's going to be just a dive. You can see here the A-back's going in. It's a dive. Right here's your guards pushing the inside, so it's supposed to go on the outside of the guard's hip. And he does, and he gets through. He does. He squeezed through, does a great job, makes a reasonable amount of yards right there. Well, it ends up being a flag. Maybe that's the flag that should have happened on that guy right there, that motion. So that's why we get the flag. All right, 1st and 15, behind the chains here. All right, so we'll go ahead and start this off. And you can see right here, this is just another dive. We're just diving. Minimal yards right there. They really stuffed the center pretty good. Walk over to into the third quarter, going into the fourth quarter. Go back. We'll catch this play right here. All right. So this is a good midline. It really shows it pretty good. You can see this is a guy we're going to option right here. He doesn't really engage this guy. He lets him go by, which is great because we get to the secondary, and he's taking the B back. So he takes the B back. So the quarterback keeps. And you can see right here he's going to the outside. I do want to point out right here, great little block here. Watch Isaiah Willis. Isaiah Willis makes some good blocks. Very close, probably close to a holding call, but does a good job. This guy's turned around, and we get through there and pick up the yards we need to right there. Get that first down. Great little play. Good midline. All right, next one right here. It's just going to be a rocket toss. So we got to seal the edge right here. Seal the edge. Not quite sealed, but definitely slows him down. Bostic ends up making this play right here. Bostic being selfless right here, making this block. Doesn't take him quite to the ground, but definitely gets him to the outside. There's no way he can make the tackle as Isaiah runs through this. So Isaiah gets the ball. It is closing quick. really doesn't slow down a whole lot. You can see him kind of stuttering, stepping just a little bit right there, but he really puts his head down, puts his head down and tries to make the extra couple of yards, trying to make the best of the situation, try to get in there and show what he can do. All right, this is going to be another midline, and this guy goes in. This guy actually is on the outside, and so Byerly gives him the ball. We make the first down, and then a couple extra yards. Does a great job. Matt Connors does a great job right there. All right, going through, get back here. Normally, when we're in this formation, this is going to be a dive or a rocket toss, and it is a dive. 3 or 4 yards. That's great. Going through this pretty quickly. All right, so let's see what this is. Another rocket toss. So we got to seal the edge right here. Try to get on the outside of this guy. Takes him down to his knees. So we did seal the edge there. So we got to make another block right here. Look, Andrews does a great job. Great job. And we got Isaiah Willis has the ball. I can say that in the next series, Isaiah does some blocking. And he does a pretty good job. So very impressive. But here we got Andrews just rocking this guy's world right there, pushing the outside, and we make we make the first down. So Andrews, shout out to you right there. We had a personal foul. We had a little block right here. He's in the front. Did he see him? Is it inside the tackle box? I don't know. I think at this point the ref's just trying to slow us down. 1st and 15. No problem. It's just going to be another one of those midlines right here. But this guy obviously takes to be back. This is the guy we're optioning right here. He takes to be back. And so normally what we do is we follow right through here. Byerly sees the blockers we have right here. Some great blocking right there. He just heads to the outside. Isn't able to make the corner on this guy, so he kind of cuts it to the outside and goes out of bounds. But we get our 15 yards. 15 yards on the midline, you can't beat it. All right, so this is basically a dive. Dive right there. It's about the offensive line. Who wants it more? We win. They're a little demoralized, so we're probably going to win most of those battles. Again, another dive. Nothing really to say other than Matt Connors is making the yards. Our offensive line is making it possible. It's great. So we're going to go 3rd and 1 right here. And this is going to be just basically Tim Byerly coming through. And let's see who gets him. Who's able to get there? It's this guy right here. This guy right here. So he's able to shed his block. He sheds his block right there. And we're not able to block him with the B-back. And so he gets a good hat on Byerly. We do make the first down. We don't make the touchdown. We had an issue there. False start. So it moves us back. So now we're going to do a rocket toss. Rocket toss. We get called for holding right here. I think basically tripping this guy up with our hands versus blocking. And I do want to point out Bostic. Bostic did really good this game. Look at him. The guy's eating dirt right there. Great job. Touchdown, except for the flag. We pull it back, so they're going to make us make 2 touchdowns. That's all right. We send in one of our new wide receivers right here. We run back, looking at pass protection. We do have some time. Throws it up. Wide receiver's looking all the way. This guy is not. And he makes a good play on the ball, holds it, keeps the other guy from taking it from him. Great hands. Got to bring in that reception. All right, I do want to show one more in the next series. I don't want to miss this because this is the new QB play that we're running right here. And I want to show you a version with Byerly in it. So we've seen JT run this QB sweeps the other side, and I want to show you Byerly. All right, so it looks like it's going to be a triple option in this direction. So let's watch these guys. What are they doing? They're clearing out. They clear out of this direction, so great. Let's watch what the linebackers do. Linebackers are sucked in at least one step, so he's not sucked in a whole lot. One thing to note, this guy right here comes to the outside. So JT's guy was blocked on the inside. This guy's going to the outside, and so instead of going around, Byerly goes through. So he's going through, And so both of these guys are blocking somebody. If you remember last time, JT ran with Aaron Joe basically down the field until JT passed him up. So now we're open. We're going down. The block is still happening. He's still blocking, and they get him for I do believe shoving him down. They call him, I think that's who they call right there. So we got the flag that ends up, blocking the back on that play. But we'll go through it one more time just so you can see. These two guys are going to pull, so they're going to pull this direction. You can see the safeties are headed over here hard, which is great. It gets everybody. There's no one here to stop the play. So all we have to do is make our blocks. This guy blocks good, and it's great that he, it's not something they've done all game. But this guy's stepping through so hard, and that just opens up the seam. Byerly takes the seam, and he runs it up the field. We have some great blocking all the way to the end. Again, you have to be careful once the guy gets in front of you, and that push to the ground ends up costing us some yards. But I like the blocking. I like continuing the blocking, just knowing when to disengage. That's the key. All right, so that was Byerly. A great little run by Byerly and his crew right there. And really appreciate the blocking from Andrews. Done a great job in this game. From Bostic, did a great job in this game. Isaiah Willis, really had a chance to run the ball a couple of times and also block, so he did a great job. All right, that's it for NC State, and we'll get Clemson recorded soon here from last year and kind of look and see what they do. Clemson, they really do read our plays very well, and it'll be very interesting to see how our offense performs this year against Clemson. All right, I look forward to your comments.